Lotus is 2 years old now, which means every single one of my mornings begins like this. Life check. Good morning, Lotus. Please make some movement if you're still with us. Hello. Congratulations on another day, sir. Obviously, we're making him a birthday cake because he's the equivalent of 80 years old now. He deserves some cake. I stayed up until a ridiculous time in the morning, coming up with a special recipe just for him. I will sue you if you make this for your own hamsters. I'm joking. I'll just break into your house and fill your toilet with sand. Flour, butter, baking powder, nutritional yeast. I'm not throwing the carton of egg whites. The only reason I'm using cartoned egg whites is because I have it and it's easier to pour out and measure. If you are not fancy schmancy like that though, and you just have regular eggs, take one of these, break it into a bowl, whisk it up, and then just scoop a measure from there. For the flour, you can use wholemeal, you can use all-purpose flour, or you can use self-raising flour. If you use self-raising flour, you can skip the baking powder. If you're not using self-raising flour, you need the baking powder. If you don't have baking powder, but you have baking soda, you can't just use baking soda on its own, because on its own, it ain't gonna do anything. You need an acid, ideally cream of tartar. Cream of tartar? Cream of tartar. I don't know how to say it, I'm just realizing I've never said that out loud before. Anyway, you need an acid to activate your baking soda, and in this recipe, I'm not going to recommend using citric acid. Hamsters are a bit sensitive to citrus. Although actually, I'm just realizing you could use citric acid because the act of cooking it would neutralize the acid. You know what? You probably can use citrus. I'm not going to. I'm going to use baking powder. It's very early in the morning. I'm very, very, very tired. Preheat the oven to 150 degrees Celsius. Thank you, Last Night Me, for writing out easy to read instructions. Excellent. I need miniature baking pans. I don't have miniature baking pans. What I do have are metal bottle caps and tin foil. Aluminium foil. We don't call it tin foil anymore, do we? I'm old. Bottle cap. Foil. Gotta keep moving, otherwise you'll have a moment of clarity. What day of the week is it? Is it Thursday? I'm spending a Thursday morning making oh, I had the clarity. Nope. Baking pan number 1. Look at the tiny bottle caps. Grease your baking tins. Have a tiny bit of foil, and we take a little bit of butter and we smear it all around. And bottle cap number 2. Time to get smeared. And we have 2 greased baking pans, tiny bowl, and a weighing scale. 3 grams of butter. This bowl might be too big. 3 grams of butter. Also, no, hamsters are not lactose intolerant. That is an old myth about them. They can have dairy in small amounts, and it's actually pretty good in their diet. Yeast. A fresh new packet of yeast as well. Unopened. Perhaps never to be opened. What is happening here? What? Ever snorted cheese dust? That'll wake you up. Okay, I haven't got my glasses on, by the way, that's why I have to keep leaning in this close to my bloody screen. If I put my glasses on, you'll be able to see everything reflecting off them, and it's very annoying. I don't like it. 1.5 grams of nutritional yeast. How am I gonna... 1.5. Did not think that through. 2 grams it is. Oh, honey, that's a lot of yeast. Okay, that's 1 gram of yeast. You know what? I think 1 gram is enough. I don't think we need to go beyond that. That's a lot of yeast. We mix these together carefully. Ooh, I'm gonna pop this in the oven just for 2 seconds, just to soften the butter a bit more. Do not break my bowl. I like that little bowl. Are you soft yet? Oh, much easier. We have a consistency. We also have a lot of mess. Ooh, cheesy butter. Well, I did add 4 grams of egg white to this, but I didn't notice my camera had stopped recording, so you're gonna have to trust me. There's 4 grams of egg white in this. I only need 5 grams of flour and 1/32 of a teaspoon of baking powder. Not sure how we're mathing that one. A pinch, I guess. I have a 1/4 teaspoon. Half of that would be an 1/8, 1/4 would be a 1/16, so I need an 1/8 of a 1/4 of a teaspoon. In a separate bowl, 5 grandmothers of flour, and a mathematical degree of baking powder, sure, that much, into the bowl and mix. I will admit this is going to be a touch more bread-like than cake. Smells great though. That's my cake batter. It's not very battery. I'm going to divide it in half and put half in each of these baking trays. There's no pouring going on here. Just put. Mmm, delicious. And now we leave it to the mercy of the oven for 10 minutes, possibly 8. I'll do 8 minutes. I think 8's a better idea. Eight minutes, 150 degrees Celsius. They've risen. They're tiny little cakes. They're not very aesthetic cakes, but they're tiny little cakes. Hello, little cakes. My good, where's my toothpicks? I must make sure you are cooked all the way through. No, don't touch the hot thing. What are you doing? It's... Why? No, you... Okay, hold on. Let's just put that there. Don't touch it. We're gonna make the icing, frosting, whatever you call it. Strag esto. And close the fridge. A smidge, teeny, bitty, little bit of honey. Little bit of yogurt, little bit more of yogurt. Get off my spoon. And an itty bitty tiny little smudgem of honey. Slightly less than that. We'll have to scoop some of that off. Oh no, how terrible. What a shame. Chia seeds. Can I touch you yet? Or are you still hot? Let's find out. Oh, cake. Oh, it smells cheesy. But, just going to take off some of the roughness. Lovely. Taste test. It's like really poor quality bread. A little bit of icing. There we go. And then stick. I think we're going to put some icing on top, and then we're going to sprinkle some chia seeds on it to make it look like somebody cared. By the way, this is a cheese flavored cake, right? So technically, it's a cheesecake, and it's a cheesecake for Lotus, which means this counts as a Lotus cheesecake. It is definitely not the same as the actual Lotus cheesecake that I made last year, which was the best cheesecake I've ever had in my life. And you can find the recipe for that over on my Instagram in case you're interested in making one yourself. I would highly recommend it. But it is a cheesecake, technically.